Are you wondering what is new for Rogue in Phase 2 of Season of Discovery? What new runes are coming in Phase 2 for Rogue? Or what talent builds should we be thinking about? Or even what new gear is coming with the new Gnomeragan raid? We'll stop right there. Rogues have a lot coming their way in Phase 2. Blizzard just announced a huge post of teasers and sneak peeks into the next phase, so let's dive into everything new that's coming in Phase 2 for Rogues. So let's start off by talking about the new Rogue class runes. There are 2 confirmed runes that are guaranteed coming, and those 2 are Shuriken Toss and Master of Subtlety. Shuriken Toss is a belt rune, and it throws a shuriken at your enemy, dealing damage equal to 25% of your attack power, and also strikes up to 4 additional nearby targets. This awards 1 combo point. This is a pretty huge ability because rogues don't have really any AoE abilities. In Phase 2, we're going to get access to our new talents and we can get Blade Flurry, but other than that, I mean, that's like a 2 or 3 minute cooldown. This provides us with some nice AoE utility. And then Master of Subtlety goes on your boots, and it is attacks made while stealth and for 6 seconds after breaking stealth cause an additional 10% damage. This is a huge rune. This will make rogue openers even more deadly if you go a backstab or ambush build. This rune is going to be huge. It's going to give us a lot of DPS. This next little section on the Phase 2 Rogue runes are the Unconfirmed runes. So these have been data mined, but we're not sure if they are actually gonna, be in the game. So let's just go down the list quickly here. Poison Knife, a belt slot. Instantly throw your offhand weapon to deal normal offhand weapon damage with a 100% chance to apply the poison from your offhand weapon to the target. Awards 1 combo point, and Poison Knife benefits from all talents and effects that trigger from or modify Sinister Strike. So another ranged ability that adds combo points, but it also applies your offhand poison. So that's really cool. The next one is Shadow Step. This is also a belt slot. Attempts to step through the shadows and reappear behind your enemy and increases movement speed by 70% for 3 seconds. So this is pretty straightforward. It's just your basic Shadow Step, which would be huge for PvP. The next one is Waylay. This is a boot slot. Your ambush and backstab hits unbalance your target, increasing the time between their melee attacks by 10% and reducing movement speed by 50% for 8 seconds. This is another really great rune to stack with a backstab or ambush build. Reducing a target's attack speed and movement speed is huge. The next one is Rolling with the Punches. This is a boot slot. Each time you dodge or parry, you gain 6% increased health, stacking up to 5 times. That is extremely broken. This is a tank rune if I've ever seen it, but I could totally see this being used by DPS rogues in PvP. Every time you dodge or parry, you gain 6% increased health. So if you throw on evasion and you have 50% dodge chance, you could stack 30% increased health with this rune. That's insane. The next one is Combat Potency. This is a helmet slot. You have a 20% chance to gain 15 energy every time you deal melee damage with your offhand weapon. So that's really cool. If you have a really fast offhand weapon, you'll be regenerating energy like crazy. The next one is Focused Attacks, a helmet slot again. You gain 2 energy every time you deal a melee or ranged critical strike. That's a really cool rune. And the third one, Honor Among Thieves. This is another helmet slot. When any player in your party critically hits with a spell or ability, you gain a combo point on your current target. This effect cannot occur more than once every second. That is insane for raiding. And one other super quick thing to note are these manuals or more quality of life improvements. It's not considered a rune, but it is huge for rogues. So in the dungeons that are a part of Phase 2, you can actually loot an item called the Manual of Redirect, and all it does is teach you the ability Redirect. For those of you that don't know, what Redirect actually does is it removes all of your existing combo points from your target and stores them for up to 15 seconds. These stored combo points will be transferred to the next non-player enemy you hit with a melee or ranged ability. Redirect was added later on in World of Warcraft. It was added in Cataclysm at level 81. So if you utilize Redirect, you can actually transfer those combo points to that second target. Let's take a look at the new raid loot that is going to be available from Gnomeragan for rogues. So let's start with the weapons. So if we scroll down here, so main hand weapons, there's a new main hand sword that's a 1.7 speed, and it has a chance on hit. Discharge a mode of thunder, dealing 25 to 35 nature damage. For a main hand sword, having a speed of 1.7, it's not the greatest, but it is an epic sword. This is where it can get really interesting here. So there is a fist weapon, and it has a speed of 2.6, has 2 strength, 3 agility, and a chance on hit to discharge a blast of arcane energy, dealing 30 arcane damage, reducing all resistances by 45, and increasing all spell damage taken by 6% for 20 seconds. This is insane for rogues to use as a main hand weapon, because it also will pair well with a couple other items that we'll get into. But those are the main hands that rogues would use. And then there's some one-handers. There's a dagger, epic dagger, 1.8 speed, and chance on hit, deal 30 nature damage every 5 seconds to any enemy in an 8-yard radius around the caster for 15 seconds. This is crazy because that's an AoE chance on hit. So that's really great. And then there is a mace here. I don't think that rogues would use this, but it does have 16 attack power on it, and it's a 2.4 speed. Now for offhands, see there's another fist weapon here that has a bunch of stats on it. It's a slow offhand. The speed's 2.8. It pairs really well with the main hand, so if you use the epic main hand fist weapon, and then you use the offhand fist weapon, and then paired it with these gloves, could be a pretty cool combination there. Or I just wanted to jump really quickly into the PvP rewards from the new Stranglethorn Veil event. There is another offhand fist weapon with a 1.4 speed, and it's really good. It has 8 agility and 9 stamina. So any combination of these 3 fist weapons paired with those gloves could do some serious damage. But Blizzard did just buff rogues just recently in the past day, and they reduced the energy cost of Mutilate from 60 energy to 40 energy. So I think our best option for weapons is actually going to be to use daggers. So we'll probably end up really wanting to get this Toxic Revenger 2 epic dagger. And then I'm jumping ahead here, and then pair it with the dagger from the new PvP event. We'll get into this for sure, but let's keep going with the Gnomeragan loot. So as we scroll down, there are some new ranged weapons as well. You know, there's a couple different options here. I think Falco Stang is going to be our best, though. Has +8 agility on it. It's 2 more agility than the gun from BFD. And then there's some pretty crazy neck pieces here. There's an epic neck piece here, 6 stamina, 16 attack power, and then improves your chance to get a critical strike by 1%. That's huge for rogues. There's some new cloaks here. We could use the agility one, and it also reduces your fall speed if you use the on use. We could use the 6 strength, 4 stamina, improve your chance to hit by 1%. So some cool cloaks. The rings are insane. The rings are insane. As you scroll down here, look at this ring. 7 strength, 8 agility, 10 stamina, and then arcane and nature resistance. That is super abyss. So we'll definitely want to grab that. There's another really great trinket. We're going to want the Gyromatic Experiment 420B. Has frost resistance, 18 attack power, and then an on use that increases your attack speed by 5%. But it says you may be able to push this experiment further. So I'm sure that attack speed is actually more than 5%. I wonder if it's like a proc. So if you click the on use, you might get 5% attack speed, you might get more. Something like that. There's another one, there's an attack chicken that we could use. And then this one I think is more of just a cosmetic, turns you into a trog, which is pretty cool. But let me scroll up here so I can click on leather. We'll get down to the leather armor. They came out with a new set. So let's go through this. These shoulders for rogues are awesome. 14 agility, 11 stamina. And then here is the chest piece for the set. It's this one. 17 strength, 13 agility, and 10 stamina. That is huge. And then the set bonus is 2 set, you get 1% hit. And then the 3 set, you get increased daggers +5, which goes off of my point of the buff to mutilate. It's probably a fact now that dagger spec is going to be BIS for phase 2. You get 2 epic daggers, you get the 3 set from this, and you know, you go dagger spec, ambush, backstab. I mean, you're going to be doing a ton of damage. So let's keep scrolling here. So you got some gloves, another 1% hit. Get a crazy belt here, 10 strength, 10 agility, 6 stamina, and a lot of armor on that as well, might I add. And the legs, you have the set legs, which is a 1% hit chance, but you also have these, the Petro Spill pants, 21 agility, 11 stamina, but you get minus fire resistance. Those are pretty insane. And then the Trip Runner dungarees. These are, if I remember correctly, from the classic quest, but it looks like they're buffed, so 21 agility on these. It's pretty nuts. Then boots. You have the set boots, which is super cool. Increases your stealth level by 1. That is awesome, especially for PvP. And then you also have these non-set boots. So the gear that's coming from Gnomeragan is as expected, really good. It's definitely going to be all the best gear. That's it for leather armor. So let me jump over to the profession items. So there's a bunch of different profession items coming. So I jumped right down to leatherworking here. So for rogue specifically, we have an epic headpiece with an unbelievable amount of stats, 14 strength, agility, and stamina. And then you get a 1% hit and an on-use. Inflicts neurological shock, instantly dealing 343 to 757 damage to yourself, but also increasing your melee and range attack speed by 20% for 10 seconds. So you can clearly see that there is a theme going on here. Blizzard is really emphasizing attack speed, which is insane because you could probably, you know, macro in all these on uses and just go crazy. Moving on to the PvP rewards, let's jump back into those. There's 2 daggers and 1 offhand for Rogue. So you have a one-hand speed 1.9, 9 agility, 8 stamina, epic dagger. And you also have a offhand dagger with 6 stamina, and it's a 2 speed. And an offhand fist weapon, 8 agility, 9 stamina. So there's so many different combinations of items that you can do. The last thing that I wanted to touch on in this video is talent points for Rogue in Phase 2. So obviously we're leveling up to level 40. So we're going to get another 15 talent points. So that means we're going to have 31 total talent points to utilize. And I just wanted to go over a couple of builds that really jump out to me with all of the new gear, the new runes, and some of the changes that Blizzard has made to rogues, including that mutilate buff. So the number one build that I'm really looking forward to is just a full assassination poison build. So for our runes, I went with Deadly Brew, Mutilate, which instead of 60 energy will now cost 40 energy. So this is a dagger spec, and Envenom. And then just to play it safe, I went with the 2 confirmed new runes, Shuriken Toss and Master of Subtlety. But this is the build I went. So I went 5 points into Malice, 3 points into improved Slice and Dice, 2 into Murder, 3 into Ruthlessness, 1 into Relentless Strikes, 5 into Lethality, 5 into Vile Poisons, 1 into Cold Blood, 5 into Seal of Fate, and 1 into Vigor. I think that this build is going to be extremely powerful if you get the 2 new daggers, the epic dagger from the raid and the epic dagger from the new PvP event in Strangled Thorn, and then pair it with, you know, dagger and poison runes. I think this is going to be our BIS, if not easily top 2 builds. So the second build that I wanted to talk about going into Phase 2 kind of piggybacks off of the BIS build from Phase 1 that utilized Saber Slash. So what I did was I kind of split the points between assassination and combat. So the new talent points that we get, I went through and got basically precision and what I could have dual wield spec. So I went 5 points into Malice, 3 points into improved Slice and Dice, 3 points into Ruthlessness, 1 point into Relentless Strikes, and then 2 points into improved Sinister Strike, 3 points into Lightning Reflexes, 5 in Precision, 5 in Deflection, and then 4 into dual wield spec. So this basically just focuses around having 2 really, really powerful swords and having high physical damage paired with the Saber Slash bleed and your poison damage from Deadly Brew. Another build that I was messing around with is a full subtlety build for PvP. The runes that I chose are Slaughter from the Shadows, Shadow Strike, Between the Eyes, Master of Subtlety, and Shuriken Toss. And I went 5 points into Opportunity, 3 points into Camouflage, 2 into Elusiveness, 3 into Improved Ambush, 3 into Initiative, 1 into setup, 3 into improved sap, 1 into preparation, 2 into heightened senses, 2 into dirty deeds, 5 into deadliness, and 1 into pre-med. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to give a deeper dive into all of the new things coming to Rogue in Phase 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys like the video. Catch you guys on the next one.